Hello everyone, welcome back to Isadora. I've been away for a few weeks. It's really great to be back. So please excuse the noise. I know I normally should be doing this topic, I should be doing this video indoors, but my problem is not putting out messages. My problem really is setting up a camera, to be honest. Like every time I can churn out messages almost every day, but the thought of setting up ring lights and a camera and everything is just, it gets a bit too much for me. So I get really overwhelmed and I forget everything I have to talk about. So it's easier for me to just do it on the go. So most of the time I would rather just do it like I'm ready to go out to the stores or something. Okay, I'll just put on my camera and do it. It's easier for me that way. Every time I think of setting up a ring light or a camera, it takes away from the whole thing. So anyway, really great to be back. What I wanted to talk about today was I saw a post, right? And in the post, like I said, please excuse the noise. I'll try to speak loudly. In the post, right, the person had said something about we were created or put on this earth to make money, right? And the reason why it got my attention was because like a few weeks back, I was having this discussion with my friend and we're talking about how to identify your purpose in life, how to walk in your destiny. Like, how do you identify your purpose and how do you walk in destiny? So we're having this discussion about a few weeks back, right? So anyway, so that was why it got my attention. And if I were to be like a teacher or lecturer, I mean, that person over 10, I'll probably give them 2. Seriously, because don't get me wrong, like they're not totally wrong. Everybody wants to make money. Nobody wants to be broke. You need to make money, right? People want to pay their rents. They want to feed themselves. They want to clothe themselves. So yes, we are here to make money, but that's not the reason why we're put on earth. We're created on earth to create. So the cycle of creation does not stop. We're put on this earth to create in terms of create life, have children, so that those children can also have their own children, and the cycle goes on. Yes. Then we're put on this earth to create opportunities, create businesses, create jobs. Do you understand? Create opportunities, which in turn obviously would, bring in that income. Then we're put on this earth to create wealth, which money is a great part of that wealth. But what wealth really is monies that can outlast you even when you're gone, so that you're not the only one benefiting from it. Your children are benefiting from it, your children's children and your children. So the cycle goes on like that. So yes, we are created to make money, but that's just a fraction of what the creation is all about. Not a lot of people are going to get to that point of having it all, living the complete life, walking in destiny, creating wealth, creating a life, creating opportunities. Some people are just going to stop at making money. Reason being, and no shades, right? There are different factors obviously that contribute to that, and one of those factors is, there are 2 factors in my opinion. One of those factors is survival. Obviously, survival being, you have to pay your rent, you have to make quick money, right? Do you understand? You have to pay rent, you have to feed yourself, clothe yourself and all those things, right? But the antidote to that is, don't lose your day job. Whilst you're doing your 9 to 5 or making your quick money, you're also supposed to be working on the craft on the side, right? Working on your craft, perfecting your craft, obviously, that can bring in generational wealth. Let me tell you this. Whatever you build that is going to outlast you for generations to come is not something that you start seeing results straight away. You may not see results for years. Why? Because it has to be valuable enough to be commercial to people, to have value to people, to be sellable to people. Do you understand? Because you're not the only one doing it, but there has to be something about yours, do you understand, that is able to bring in such wealth that would outlast you even after when you're not there, right? So that's the first factor, survival. The second is lack of foresight. Like I said, some people can just stop at making money. Reason being, when a lot of people hear that, what's it called? Oil and gas is what is making money now. Everybody runs and goes to do oil and gas. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't do that. Like I said, make your quick money on the side, but also find out why you're created, you understand, and work on that craft on the side, So Because a lot of people think what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Whilst the goose, they might be created to actually do that oil and gas, right? And they may be able to create such wealth from it that will outlast them after they're no longer around. For the gander, they may be created to sell just water. And that water, even from just selling that water, they may be able to build factories. That's creating job opportunities. They may be able to have enough to get married. That's and have children. That's creating life. They may be able to bring in generational wealth. So the real question is, how do you identify your purpose? How do you know what you're created to be? How do you know why you're put on earth? How do you identify that? So the first way to identify that is, whatever it is you're created to be or to do feels like second nature to you. You do it without difficulty. People will tend to ask you, how did you do that? See, it's like sales, right? It could be sales, it could be anything, it could be dancing, it could be singing, it could be speaking, it could be writing, whatever it is, it could be being a lawyer, other people may need to go and get a degree for it, maybe like do a short course or whatever it is. But for you, it's like selling sand to the beach. It comes to you like second nature. You do it easily, without any difficulty, without really putting much thought into doing it. And like I said before, it's like second nature to you. People will tend to ask you, how did you do it? Because for other people, it's a bit more difficult. That's one way to identify your purpose. Another way to identify your purpose is, you're not necessarily seeking the rewards for it. If it's not bringing returns like money straight away, you're not so bothered. Because let me give you an example. Do you get bothered that you don't get paid to eat? Do you need to get paid to sleep? No, these are things you just do because it comes to you naturally. You don't. Okay, for example, like I cook, right? I'm a chef, but I want to get monies for it. Like I enjoy cooking, but it's not my purpose, right? And I want to get paid for it. Do you understand? Now, I don't get me wrong, I could do it for free when I'm entertaining friends and all that. Do you understand? I don't mind all that, but I also want to do it as a profession. However, speaking, for me, I'm not saying that's my purpose. I'm just saying, for me, speaking comes a bit more naturally. I used to say in the past, like, I write better than I speak. But for me, really, speaking comes naturally. I can do it. Like I said earlier, the only problem I have is setting up a camera and ring lights and all that. If I can just do it on the go and pull out my phone and everything, I would churn out messages. Like, I would churn out all those videos every day. I would do it every day. It comes to me naturally because it's always there. Like I said, I'm not saying it's my purpose. I'm just saying it's something I tend to do naturally. So you're not necessarily seeking the rewards for it. You're just doing it because it comes naturally to you. So whilst other people are doing it because, yes, they want to make money, we all want to make money, don't get me wrong. But whilst other people are doing it predominantly for the money, you're doing it because it's just something that comes naturally to you. You're doing it because you enjoy it. You're doing it because it fulfills you to do it. So that's another way to know what your purpose is, what you're created to do. Now, the final way to know what your purpose is you don't necessarily need inspiration from everyone. Again, let me give an example with this speaking, right? I don't know other speakers per se, don't get me wrong, like I do know them, but I don't know if I have competitors or who they are or what they're doing. Or don't get me wrong, I watch other people's channels, right? I listen to other people speak and churn out messages. However, I'm not watching them to know what they're doing or the style or the swag, or maybe if I did, I would have a different swag, right? But that's not why I watch them. I watch other people or listen to other people because whatever it is they're saying somehow has an impact on my life. So I am taking in their messages like every other listener, not as a competitive speaker. I don't know who the competitors are. I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, maybe if I did, I would have a bit more swag. But the truth is that I don't need inspiration from them. when you're doing something you're called to do, you don't need inspiration from other people, or you don't need to copy other people. You don't need to learn their swag. The moment you copy people, you're living in their shadow. Do you understand? You're the shadow of that person. So if it's something you're created to do, you don't have to be in anybody else's shadow. You don't try to copy their swag, or the way they speak, or the way they look, or the way they dress, or something. You just, like I said, it's second nature to you. It's like sleeping, it's like breathing. You just do it because you can, you know, as opposed to other people that may have to go and learn it. Do you understand? But like I said, it's something that needs to be fine-tuned, obviously, that needs to be worked on, that needs to be fine-tuned for it to be able to bring in wealth. Now, whatever it is you're created to do is something that comes to you very, very naturally. However, it does need to become marketable. It does need to be fine-tuned. It does need to be worked on, where it becomes marketable enough for people to want to pay top dollar for it, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, you can be inspired by people, but for who they are and what they stand for, but not to copy them. Do you understand? Because they also were inspired by something, is why you look up to them. So you should find other inspiration. I mean, if you're doing what you're called to do, you'll be inspired by other things. Okay, I'll use myself as an example, right? When a lot of people look at kids, they listen to kids and they're like, oh, so cute, oh my god, oh, you're so cute. But what I see are beings that speak their minds, you understand, without the fear of prejudice, without the fear of being judged, and that inspires me. I live where there's so many birds that fly around, right? And when these birds fly around, what I see is creation that trusts that come nighttime they have a place to lay their heads, they have food to eat. And what that teaches me, really, to be honest, is that not to chase my pocket so much, or my stomach, but to chase after things that that's not just beneficial to me, but also beneficial to other people. Do you understand? So not to be so consumed by, oh, I need to make money, I need to make quick money, I need to make quick money, but more consumed about building and creating something that can be useful. Do you understand? That can outlast me in future. And again, there's this tree, you know, it's not too far from my window. It's a huge tree, and every time I look at that tree, so sometimes I wake up in the morning and I just look outside my window and I keep looking at this tree, and I mean, it's really, really big. And what I see is, you know, come rain, come sunshine, this tree is immovable. And what the irony of it is that even sometimes, like when it's raining or when the sun is too shiny, you see a lot of people hide under the tree for cover. And what that teaches me is to stand strong in every situation and not let anything really shake you. I mean, you're going to experience things sometimes, but you're so grounded and your roots are so embedded in your faith. Your faith could be God, it could be the universe, whatever you believe in, on the good side, that you know that you'll be taken care of. No matter what, you'll be fine, you know. And when you're that strong and you don't let either money or power or influence or the lack of it, when you don't let it change who you are consistent to your person, you know, you're consistent to who you are also able to stand as a source of inspiration, as yes, as a source of inspiration to other people. You're also able to stand as a cover, as inspiration to other people as well, you know. And that's what I learned from that. So I put all those thoughts together and I start to create, you know. I start to create without fear of being judged, fear of prejudice. I start to create without fear of lack, you know. Yes, I may not be where I want to be, I may not have everything. Like this phone, for instance, the weather is so hot and the phone is getting so hot and is affecting the quality. So if I had like my iPhone 15 and I'm chasing money, then, you know, but I also understand that I'm working towards something greater. Do you understand? So I can't chase the paper so much, you know. I have to chase wealth. I have to work and build something greater that can outlast me in future, you know. So I create and I start to create, you know, without fear of being accepted or loved, because I know that I believe in myself, and like I said, my roots are so embedded in my faith that if I'm able to believe in myself, I can conquer the world. And that's how you create. That's why we're put on this earth. to create. I do love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. See you next week. Bye.